answers to the human experience. Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Yes, indeed. We've got a light right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We're broadcasting live here in the the wonderful state of Florida. Out to all of you who perhaps it's feeling a little chilly. Maybe you got a little taste of Christmas and you were ready for the new year and you're like, ooh, it's the new year, but you're freezing. Yeah, I got to talk to many people across the country this week. Everyone's telling me they got a taste of snow. Here in sunny South Florida, maybe we got a little chill in the air. That would be high 70s. But we wish you all great love, great light, and great blessings for 2022. And that's what tonight is all about. All about you, all about the messages of 2022. What do you want to create in this year? It's this time of year where mankind flips the calendar and says, we begin again. Do we really? Well, from an astrology point of view, we're going to hear from our friend Stacie Haller, the astrologer. In the second hour, from 7 to 8 p.m., we'll be hearing from her at the 7 o'clock point. And she'll be sharing with us what 2022 looks like for us and some of the big planetary changes we've got. So does the year really begin because it's January 1st? Or maybe the sign of Aries begins it all again. And we really go that way in the energy. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to speak to Stacie about your personal signs, how it feels to be you in 2022. And for you all tonight, I, Sarah Spiritual, we're going to be answering your questions, giving you some insight, just a little peek into 2022. But we have to recap. Let's recap one more time. 2020, 2021. What's 2022 going to feel like? Unfortunately, as we start the year, we're feeling this, wait a minute, I've been here before, and it's not feeling very good. What are we going to do? Well, I think the one thing we've all learned to be is resilient, resourceful. We've learned these skills. So we'll continue to be resilient, resourceful, watchful. Don't be fearful. Don't start the year in fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. We know so much about so many things, and yet we know nothing. We've got all these facts, all this information, all this misinformation being talked about. But at the end of the day, you have to come from a place of truth, trust, faith, love, kindness, gratitude. You have to be in the energy of some form of invincibility. Even though I know they say that some of what is happening out there in the world, you can't really be a superhero and navigate through it. But energetically, spiritually speaking, we're all superheroes. We can all leap tall buildings in a single bound. So whether you want to be Supergirl or Superboy, it's up to you. Or maybe a little bit of both, I don't know. But in the end of the day, at the end of this day, we're on day 5 already of 2022. And we all had that break, that time to reflect, that holiday gathering. Those of you who were able and did. And those of you who didn't, whether it's you didn't have anyone to gather with or you chose not to, it was still the holy time. What I love about the month of December is it reminds us of the holiness that's out there, the energy that's out there, the supreme energy that supports all that exists here. Because even though mankind is extremely intelligent and we have so much that we can accomplish and we have accomplished as a society, as humanity, scientifically, we've done so much. But there's a force greater than any of that, and that is the force that chooses to work with you every day. It is you who chooses not to walk with the divine. It is you who chooses not to include the divine in your plans. I was telling someone not too long ago that I don't do anything without checking with spirit. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if I'm going to go on a vacation, I kind of check. Is it the right thing to do? Is it the right time to do it? What should I do? I ask, I sit with those things. I make plans. I have goals. I have desires. I have things I want to do. But I wait on those things. I'm not impulsive in that way. Not because I can't be and I don't enjoy being impulsive and just doing something because it pops in my head. It's just I've learned that if I check in with my co-pilot, that would be God, and the co-pilot's staff, my universal stewardesses and stewards, which would be the guides and angels, they all ride with me. I want to see, what do the peeps say? And they say, stay the heck home, Sarah Spiritual. I stay home. If they suggest that I continue on something, even though I don't know how I'm going to manage it, but I get this sense, this feeling, this reassurance that everything will be okay, I ride the wave. I continue. If I ask about something and I get a sense that it doesn't feel like it's going to work out, I pull the plug. I have learned to stay steadfast to what I feel and what the guidance offers me. And if there's anything that I would love to teach all of you, and this is 618 shows later, 12 and a half years, I would like to teach all of you to follow that guidance. Because wired inside of you are the answers. And my job, my goal, my role in this experience called life with many of you is to be that person who's like the tour guide of life. And I say, look over there. Oh, that's a poisonous snake. Don't go that way. Oh, look over there. You see that tree? A little bit to the left. I know you can't see that far, but beyond that tree is your pot of gold, or your happily ever after, or your rainbow, or a challenge. But I promise you, when you pass the challenge, all will be well. I had a wonderful opportunity of talking to someone today, and I do hope she's in the Tampa area. I really hope she gets to listen, and maybe she and her fiancé are listening right now. We had a wonderful chat this morning. And in our session, we reconnected, and she said, I can't contain myself. I couldn't wait to talk to you. And I said, really? And she shows me her hand. She shows me this beautiful ring, and she's engaged. And so she says, you told me, but I didn't know how that was possible given where I was at the time. And I had connected with her in about the July-ish time of 2020, right in the depths of the madness, right? But she and I connected, and we had our session. And then we had taken it a little further. We did a little work, a work I'm really passionate about. It's soul integration. We went on a journey, and we talked to her little girl who went through quite a bit as a little one. And maybe if you all go through your memory banks in the past years of life, particularly when you were growing up, I'm sure we all have a story or two. Something that happened that maybe we didn't feel loved or supported or good enough, or whatever the story may be. So she and I explored that in a way that we were able to rescue her little girl from the past and free her moving forward and open up to new possibilities. So at that time, she wasn't really in a place where she knew anyone that she was going to be dating. There wasn't really that connection, that flow. Things weren't moving in that direction. So she didn't know how anything like that could be. But I said, I see that by healing yourself, by doing your work, something magical is going to happen. And I see, and I told her. And so when you count July 2020-ish, around that time, the summer of 2020, to now, to December of 2021 was the time frame, her whole life has changed. You see, the point of what we do here, the point of your asking a question, is not for us to just give you an answer and tell you what to do. It's for us to share with you what you can find on the journey. And if you're open to the journey, not the desired outcome, although that's there and we desire it, but if you're open to the journey, and that includes the bumps on the road, that includes the, I don't know if it's going to work, feelings. If you're open to that journey, then you're going to get to your destination, ready for the destination, full of life and energy of love, and ready for what God has for you. So we're here to point you in the direction of your 2022. We're here to prepare you for your experiences, even those air pockets that will hit on the flight and will make us drop quite a few thousands of feet, that make your stomach jump from your stomach to your heart to your throat, just losing it, only for you to regain stability and go back to smooth flight, smooth movement forward. It's a journey. And on the journey, you're going to meet people who are going to offer you tidbits of wisdom, tidbits of truth, tidbits of illusions. They're going to offer you pieces of the puzzle, and it's up to you to decide what pieces fit where and how do they look as the picture is being formed. And where do you fit in the picture? Because the best part of free will is you can always pick up the pieces and say, I'm going to go to a different puzzle and redesign your life. So let's say you're living in California. You're listening to the show and you say, oh, well, I really want to move. And I'd love to move to, I don't know, we'll say North Carolina. The pieces of your puzzle are going to look different than the pieces would if you were in California. Some storylines may resemble themselves because we each have a journey of experiences that we must pass through to get to our soul's mission, our soul's reason for being, and our reason for meeting the people we meet along the way. So if you're meant to have a moment of difficulty in relationship, or a moment of betrayal, or a job loss, or a financial hiccup, I cannot say that it wouldn't happen in North Carolina because you left California. Some things may happen, but it will happen in a different form, in a different storyline, maybe a little more palatable than it would have been in California. This is why we give the guidance and we let you know that you have the power to choose. And also that you're never alone, and that your guides, your angels, and our loved ones, they're so with us. They're with us holding our hand every step of the way best they can, although they cannot always make connection and contact because they too are creating a new puzzle of life in the afterlife, in the higher realm, a new way of living, a new way of experiencing the divine, but without the physical density, the embodiment of being here on Mother Earth. So they've taken on a new role. And so in their new role, be it just as an energetic being or perhaps translating into another lifetime or another spot, their role is not always available for you as the mother, the grandmother, the father, the cousin, the sister, the brother that you knew them to be, because they have evolved. So as you evolve, the grandmother who may have passed 30 years ago, she too is evolving. She's not sitting there going, I hope my grandchild looks up and says, are you there, Grandma? Their life is not waiting. Their life is always being and vibrating. And the best part of being in the heavens, this is the best part, is they have a knowing that is filled with such unconditional love and kindness and compassion that whatever we have experienced on earth, whatever their parting experiences may have been, unpleasant, maybe family difficulties, when they shed the embodiment, when they shed the emotionalism, all of the negative emotions tied to an experience, anything that has a low vibrational pattern, as they graduate to the heavens, to their new year, to their new life, to their new way, they release that. And when they reference it to us here who remain on earth as a point of evidence that, yes, this is what's going on in the family, they're not saying it from a place of judgment. They're not saying it from a place of anger or frustration. They're just saying, hey, this is what's going on and you need to work it out. Or don't worry, if someone took your inheritance, it's okay. It's going to come back another way. And just don't lose yourself in fighting for something that is only going to cause you more angst than joy in your life. They're always coming from the place of you are living, enjoy your life, because they're at peace. And because they're at peace, they want nothing more than for us to find our peace here on earth, to find our joy, to find our harmony, to find our love, to find our happily ever after, to experience everything to its fullest, because, well, life is transient. It's quick. It goes at the snap of a finger. So one knows not when one is to leave, but it is the time for us to journey and experience as much as we can in the most authentic, kind, compassionate way. It is a journey. There's a song from Green Day. We used to always play it at my other station, and we used to open the show and close it. And this was before Spirit channeled and gave me our own songs. But there's a line that says, so take the photographs and still frames in your mind, and through it all, know it was worth it. All the while, I hope you're having the time of your life. It's by Green Day. It's called Good Riddance. You should all listen to that song, because I have found that song, I hope you're having the time of your life, and don't ask questions why. No matter where I pull up, no matter what juncture I'm at, whether it's a job interview once upon a time when I was in the corporate arena, whether it was when I first moved to Florida, when it was I first pulled up to the radio station for my first show, it pops on. It was one of the first songs I heard in my car in the beginning of 2022. So hold the still frames in your mind, but have the time of your life, because 2022 may just be a calendar flip. And part of it may feel like a continuation of years gone by, but it's how you choose to experience it. It is how you choose to live it differently. It is how you choose to be grateful and take risks and make change in your life and hold the vision of what you desire, and don't give up the first 3 weeks into your New Year's resolution. Stand true to it. And know that if it was important enough for you to say it, if you feel it deeply enough, the changes will come, and you will be designing your new puzzle of life for 2022. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to answer your questions. We have our friends on Facebook on the Sarah Spiritual page, our friends on YouTube on Sarah Spiritual. You can even go to sarahspiritual.com to watch the show. We appreciate you all. It's been a wonderful journey. A little bumpy. I think we've hit a couple of air pockets the past few years. But now we're raising our altitudes. We're setting sail for new heights. And we're just going to glide. Enjoy the ride. Stay with us. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and also live on WWNN. We will be right back.
Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Sarah Spiritual, and we are broadcasting live to all of you right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We sure hope you share the love, share the light, share the page if you're live on Facebook. Talk to us on YouTube on Sarah Spiritual, and be sure to visit sarahspiritual.com if you want to get a sense of more who I am, what I do. We have had a center in West Palm since, well, it's 16 years this year. Let me tell you. It's been quite the journey, and we've been on national radio for 12 and a half years, just hanging with all of you. We're all learning. We're all growing. We all put our shoes on one foot at a time, so we're all somewhere along the journey of life. And the journey of life has taken us to, woo dog, 2022. Who would have thought that we would get to talk about 2022 and still be talking about some stuff we don't want to talk about? But I'll tell you this. You're going to make your 2022. The story is not going to define you. You're going to define who you are, and you're going to step into your true authenticity. You're going to step into your soul purpose, because this is a great calling for humanity and the souls to step into who they are, who they've come to be, and follow your mission and purpose. There will always be something going on somewhere. There will always be obstacles. There will always be storylines that make you think, now's not the right time. I don't know if I can do it. I can't overcome this. There's always something. And there's also excuses. So get off your excuse train and get on the train of making it happen. We're making it happen with 2022. And I hope you continue to follow us on this journey and follow the work that we're doing, the classes that we'll be having. We've got some upcoming classes at the end, starting at the end of January. And we're on a spiritual train and we're picking up speed fast. Sure hope you join us. Come on board. We are going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. I really want to get to as many questions as possible. So I'm going to ask the listeners and those of you on hold, what's your question for 2022? We're going to tell you what Spirit has to say. You're going to ask your question, and we're going to take as many calls here because I want as many people to get a sense, a pulse of what's 2022 got going on for you. So we're going to start here in South Florida. I've got someone in Largo, and her name is Heather. Heather, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year. Let me tell you that this is a year of new beginnings for you, not because it's 2022, but it's because you need to wipe the slate clean. Heather, they make me feel like 2019 into 2020. Past 14, 15 months of all of that seem to be a little difficult, yes?
Yes.
And we're passing through that now. We're getting ready for a very new beginning. What is your question? What insight can we offer you for 2022?
I would like to know in the next few months what is going to be going on for me.
Okay. Well, this is a year for you to be in your truth and your power, too. So I want you to set your intentions. They're talking to me about movement but they make me feel like it has to do with a move that benefits you. You're considering making a move in your work, please?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. Everything this year is about movement for you. We're starting the year with the eye on the direction we want to go. When I open up the energy to February and March, that's when things seem to start cracking and going in your direction. I see elevation. I also see the importance of you and honoring your heart and not letting other people step on your heart. Does that make sense to you, Heather?
Yes, it does.
So this heartfelt feeling has got to be your paramount priority. So right here, they say, dig down deep. We want you to go into the heart, and we want you to dig in. And we want to say, how does it make me feel? Do I feel good? Is this what I want? And yes, I'm going to go for it. Or no, it looks good on the outside, but I'm not feeling it, so I'm going to wait for something else to come before I make my move. This is their message for you, Heather.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How did you hear about the show, Heather?
I've already talked with you, and
thank
I've
you.
known from a friend.
Well, thank your friend. Thank you for following the show and calling us again. We greatly appreciate it. Happy New Year. Keep us posted on your movements. Bye for now.
Absolutely.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye. 888-565-1470. Now, I know I'm going to go through a temperature freeze when I go a little bit up. Actually, pretty far up. I got to go to Kathy. And Miss Kathy, she's in Michigan. Kathy, how's the weather doing for you there?
Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly, Kathy.
Oh, good. Very cold and very snowy.
I would imagine, but I can tell you that the good part about snow is after a while it does melt, and I'm sure the sun will come out tomorrow, as Annie would say. I got to look at this energy around you, Kathy, and before I get to your question, really want to make you aware of this is a soulful time for you. This is a time for you to step into why you live and breathe, understanding what's important to you, the meaning of life for you, the simplicities of life, releasing the complexities of life, and really honoring yourself. And then I actually feel like we're going to do some expanding and growth in an area of some spiritual things. Are you working on your spiritual growth right now, Kathy?
Sorry. I'm sorry, I just couldn't talk there for a minute.
That's okay.
Lots of changes in the past 5.5 years. And mostly for my daughter, Brooke.
Okay.
And her birthday is 2/26/97.
Okay.
She's gone through, she has Prader-Willi syndrome, very hard syndrome. And she's had many medication issues and a chemical imbalance. She's in a perfect home, an AFC home. And I'm praying they'll still work through these issues. There's been many. And still keep her in that home because they are the best for her. And I'm hoping that with her new medication change, that will be good for her.
Well, let me say this.
I don't know what you see or what you feel that I can do to make sure that she can still stay in this home. I know she's a lot for them to work with, but I don't want to lose this home, and I just need to feel settled that she can stay and she'll get healthy again.
And when I look at this, yes, so there's been a lot of missteps in medication, and the medication has created what really looks like some moods as well. Is that true, please? It's just very difficult,
much
right?
so, yeah.
Almost like from zero to instant anger and just like this agitation, yes? So when I look at this
Very
energy,
much so. Chemical imbalance.
okay, so when I look at this energy and I look at how it is around her, I do feel like they at the home are aware it's medicationally induced. They are aware that it's something that needs to be adjusted. And I do feel like there's a willingness for them to work with you. I know that there's other people there, so they cannot dedicate so much time to one difficult patient or client at the time, but they are
Right.
willing to work with you. And I do feel
thank
when I
God.
look at this energy that I see here before us that this is also, it's very interesting that both of you are on a powerful soul journey of recognizing the truth and the essence of who you are. And this is beyond the physicality of life, the true essence that makes your soul exist. And so she's on a path of self-discovery. You're on a path of self-discovery. And her self-discovery, of course, has a different platform and way of experiencing, but she's truly stepping into the energy and the light of transformative energy that God can provide her. And you're learning to surrender the physical need to fix, maintain, and control, and you're surrendering it to God and the angels. So she's surrendering to her essence of her soul, and you're surrendering to the power of God so that God can intervene on your behalf. I will encourage you to invoke the energy of Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. See that angel surrounding your daughter with this beautiful, brilliant light and standing there and holding the energy so nothing other than the highest good outcome can come for her. And see the energy, keeping the energy around her peaceful, tranquil, because your daughter is also very sensitive to other people and other people's energy. And so that also can trigger a reaction from her as well. Is this true?
Yes, very much so. She, it's called bipolar schizoaffective disorder.
Okay. Now, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose. I'm speaking strictly from a spiritual point of view, from what I have learned from the angels and the guides. But when a frequency...
the highs and the lows.
Yeah, so I will discuss it with you from a spiritual point of view. The frequencies in her brain and her energy, they waver. And when the wavering is out of alignment with the divine universal frequencies, these high frequencies, then lower frequencies slip in and they almost trick her. And they cause difficulty in her ability to understand what's really going on and where the truth and lie begin, and causes her to see and hear and feel things that other people do not. But it may not always be that it doesn't exist. She's seeing it on a different frequency in a realm because she's on a different frequency. So some of these things are energetic. It's not all labeled in my spiritual experience. So when we look at this, this is why we ask for the power of the angels. And I say this to you and anyone who's battling any kind of mental disorder. Yes, we need to seek treatment. We need assistance. Medication has its place. I'm not saying any of that is to be avoided or not considered or not the right treatment. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that when we are aware of frequencies and that the energy has a good vibration or a lower vibration, of high or low, when something holds a frequency of negativity, it tends to hit us where we're most weak and cause a disruption. And there are certain things that lower and shift our vibration. Alcohol, drugs, any type of addiction, they cause a pattern of behavior that becomes embedded within us, but also lowers our frequency. And we're more consistently at a lower frequency, whether we want to admit it or not. So in her case, the medication that fixes one thing also lowers her vibration. So she's caught up in this very vicious cycle. This is why the medication keeping her at a even level frequency or chemical conversation in the brain is so important for her. This is how they present it to me. And so, yes, I do see it possible. And how you best can help her, which was your question, is you hold the vision with Archangel Michael. You see a legion of angels surrounding her and everyone else in the facility, and clearing the energy, almost like pushing everything away that looks like a dark, smoggy, cloudy day over Chicago, okay? You know how the clouds look kind of heavy and dark? I want you to see that energy, and I want you to see the light of the angels, the light of God, pushing it all away. And summon that energy. It's not imagination. It's not woo-woo. I can assure you that when you stand in this truth and this energy and you push the energy out, that you will feel the energy change. It was so very simply experienced between me and someone today on a call. We were talking about the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd. And she said, Sarah, when you taught the class and you said something about, referring to that, she goes, ever since then, I keep that book open to the 23rd Psalm. And I was like, great. And she said, the other day I was walking in my house and something just said, go ahead, go read that now. And so we had a conversation as to why she was led to do that. That psalm, the 23rd Psalm, neutralizes these low vibrational frequencies. It creates a sense of peace. And as a point of an experiment, I recited it for her right on the call. I know it by heart. And then you could almost hear a pin drop in the energy. It just became so crisp and clear. You see, that's the frequency that we're looking to have your daughter experience. Crisp and clear and calm and stillness and light and love. So on behalf of your daughter, do read the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And continue reading that. And see the angels surrounding her. I don't see them giving her the boot. I know they're struggling with her right now. I do feel it is in their ability and the doctor's ability to make an adjustment to, unfortunately, keep her at a particular level where she's not enjoying things quite the way she wants to at this moment. But I also feel that through the power of prayer, through the power of the energy, through the right medications and the right exercises and meditations and whatever she's capable of doing, she can live a better, more hopeful, whole life. I hope I have answered your question and a bit of assistance to you, Kathy.
You've done more than I can say. I just want her to have peace. And this home is the best ever. And I know they're at their wit's end. You know what I mean?
I do. And so every time you think of your daughter, just say, peace, be still. Because even those words create a sense of peace. Kathy, how did you hear about, you're welcome, how did you hear about the show?
I just found you. You came to me.
Well, they came to you. I just got to be the voice box. So glad to make a connection with you. God bless you.
I can't thank you enough and your guides.
No, you're most welcome. Please keep us in the loop and in touch. If you're open and you need a session privately, look on the website. I'd be happy to help you behind the scenes. And
I would love that.
Say your daughter's name again for me.
Brooke Vanessa.
Okay. So we're going to put her in our prayers. I'm just making a note. Thank you so much, Kathy. God bless you. Happy New Year, and may the healing begin.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to continue answering our questions right here on WHFS and live on WWNN. We are so happy to be broadcasting to you the first show of 2022. But for this moment, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we've got our friends on Facebook, our friends on YouTube, on the Sarah Spiritual page. Hope you're asking your questions. We're going to get right back to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You know me, do I know you? Have we met before?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
WHFS 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. And you're also listening to us on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 and 96.9. So glad to be connecting with all of you, making our acquaintances here for a whole brand new year. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Nope, I didn't forget you when 2021 turned to 2022. We're just getting started here. We're in the second half of our first hour, getting ready to go as the second half of the show. We're so glad to connect. 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and this is where we answer life's tough questions. And we look for the clues to make sure we don't fall in the hole. Just keep on moving, everybody. We are going back to the phone lines, 888-565-1470. And I've got Paula. Paula is in Lakeland. Paula, how are you tonight?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, Paula, got to break the routine, got to step out. Got to make a shift, to change. You know, things may feel a little wobbly and unsteady as you come into 2022, but they want you to kind of think more creatively and in a way reinvent yourself. You think of making some major changes for yourself personally this year. Is that something that's on your to-do list?
Okay.
Is that something you're working on, honey?
Yes.
Okay. It's right there for you. It's something for you to accomplish. But I need you to break routine. Like, if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, well, what is that? Cray. We're not doing that. We want to make a shift and a change because they make me feel like you're feeling stuck in a routine. And as you're stepping into 2022, you want to break free. What is your question for us about 2022, Paula?
What does Spirit see for the future of my relationship?
Okay. Can I have your partner's birthday, please?
Yes, June 19th, 1980.
Okay. This relationship is feeling a little stuck, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. That's part of the routine. Got to break the routine. Got to color outside the lines. Girl, you got to get creative here. This is looking kind of complicated, this relationship. He's trying to step into something that can make him be in a better place. I feel like he needs to step into something new for himself to feel better about himself. He's got to network, connect, build some new connections. I feel like he's not happy with where he is as a person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the relationship seems a little volatile, a little uncomfortable at times, and it also makes me feel like you two are not on the same page at this moment. So as we move you forward in the relationship, the interesting part is that when I move you past this February, assuming you make it through Mercury Retrograde, which is going to kick our butts, but we'll have Stacie talk to us about that in our astrology report at the 7 o'clock hour. But when I look at this energy, I feel like if he could just get something better for himself, he'll feel better and he can be more centered. And I feel like he needs to take a break from toxic people around you guys. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, good guy, difficult guy, argumentative guy, and you're feeling out of sorts. So the relationship has this make or break time in the month of June and July, depending on how the communication goes between the two of you and what he does to better himself. Now, I will tell you this. Spirit says that you have lost yourself in this relationship and not honored yourself for quite a while. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's responsible for him. You are responsible for you. So you have to take care of you, look at what makes you feel good, and honor yourself, build yourself up, break this routine, move yourself forward. If he wishes to grow and move forward with you, he shall. If he does not, this will dissolve. You all have free will. But this relationship, if it continues on the path it is on, it's going to explode. So trust that there is a way, but it begins by both of you doing your own work. Does this make sense to you, Paula?
Yes, it does.
Okay. How did you hear about the show?
My mom.
Okay. Well, thank your mom. Good to have you on board. Hope you continue to listen and share your experiences with us. Pop on Facebook, pop on YouTube, continue to watch, and welcome to our family. And it'll be a happy new year. Put you first, and everything will fall into place. Bye for now, Paula.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and the work that I do, I am Sarah Spiritual. You can visit sarahspiritual.com. We've got a whole host of products that are available to help you tune in to your energies, your truth, your experiences, and open up for a great, fabulous new year. Before we go to commercial, we're going to take a question from Facebook, and we're going to see what's going on in our Facebook friends. And let's see, who do we have? We have our YouTube question. Mary Katie, she says, I'm feeling that this year of 2022 is going to be really, 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 really great for me. Just would love to have your thoughts on that. You know, Mary Katie, it is going to be a good year, especially if you think of what I had said in the beginning of the show. I said, let's think about how it's going to be, feel what we want it to be, and not lose ourselves in stories that make us feel as if it's not possible to do because of what's going on. So, Mary Katie, yes, it is going to be a good year. And for you particularly, I'm seeing some financial growth, and I'm actually feeling like a promotion, advancement, and transformation. So thank you, Mary Katie, for your YouTube question. Let's take one more from Facebook or YouTube. Excuse me. Karen Martin, is there any message for me from Spirit? So, Karen, the first thing I'm made aware of, oh my goodness, this is a time of change. Clearing the deck, closing the doors, and opening up to new opportunities. So, Karen Martin, stay true to yourself, trust. And when something's not working, as I said in the movie Frozen, let it go. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. We thank you all on WHFS for following us, sharing this experience. Pop on to WWNN, catch us on Facebook, and listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Bye for now, WHFS. Follow us for our second hour. We'll be back, everyone. See you then.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh,
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of...
and you need someone to talk to. Lay your head upon me and tell me everything. When your day is long and you've lost some battles and you're weary, you can turn to me, and I will be your safe haven in this crazy world that we live in. And we lose ourselves every day. You can turn to me and count on me to be there every step of the way. I'm your safe haven every day. When you're thinking I can hear you, I'm with you now, and every step of the way in this crazy world we live in. We lose ourselves every day.
She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions here live, 888-565-1470. But before we go back to the phone lines, before we connect back with our friends on Facebook, we have a very special guest joining us for this just a few minutes. She's going to be sharing with us a little bit about what's coming up planetarily, what the energy is going to hold for you, and what it means for your each individual sign. We're just going to get a little glimpse into 2022 from an astrological speaking point of view. And I've got Stacie Haller on the line. Stacie, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to have you back on. Time is flying. Can you believe you've been guesting on our show for a little bit over a year? So thank you so much for continuing to join us.
I love being part of your tribe.
Thank you so much. So, Stacie, what do we have going on? It's 2022. I know the planets are doing a little do-si-do. So give us some heads up with what's going to come and how is it going to impact us all?
Well, as I was getting ready to speak to you, the lyrics that came into my mind was, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Remember those lyrics from We Won't Get Fooled Again?
We won't get fooled.
So this year, I have to say there are still some harsh aspects coming into the year, and there'll still be some difficult times, but we are fortunate that there are some softer aspects that will help us. So there are some energies that will make this a little easier going through. I know we're all anticipating the Mercury Retrograde coming up on the 14th. So everybody needs to batten down because in 2022, we actually have 4 Mercury retrogrades this year.
What? I want another year. Let's just skip over.
Yeah.
What?
And 3 of them, including this one coming up, they're all in air signs. So they're all in communications, which is what Mercury is all about. So just a heads up, this one on the 14th, that goes through the 3rd, it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about technology. So watch out before you send an email, and make sure your connections are real tight.
Okay, good to know.
So that's the short term. But I will say, for the year, we do have some things that will absolutely help us. And one of the beautiful aspects is that many parts of the solar system are in water and earth signs. So we'll have more compassion and we'll be somewhat more grounded. And particularly Jupiter and Neptune. They're in Pisces throughout 2022, and they're both at home in Pisces. And that will bring us more humanity and blessings and compassion. So we do have some energies coming in to help us, but I know all of us want to know, well, what does that mean for me?
What does that mean?
So I want to take a little snippet at each of everybody's sign. And I always like to say, if you happen to know your rising sign, pay attention to that too. Because many of your charts in your birth chart, you may relate more to your rising sign if you know it than your sun sign. But you want to go around and see where everybody's highlights are going to be?
Let's highlight it and see what's going to happen.
All right. Well, we'll start with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Now, for you folks, this is going to bring a new chapter for you. It's really about resetting. You need to learn how to unplug. Do a little meditation, take a trip. And in May, you have a very important eclipse in Aries. So that could mean a new business venture to you, something totally new and different. Now, for Taurus, it's all about partnerships and relationships this year. April especially is going to be a very, very social time for you guys. And in November, could be big relationship news for you. Maybe somebody out there could be tying the knot if you're a Taurus or a Taurus rising.
Beautiful.
So there's something coming. Now, the Geminis, the focus for you is on your health. If you've been ignoring some issues and you know you need to take care of yourself, whether it be your mental health, emotional health, or physical health, now is the time to get it right and to do some healing. You could also have some very big dreams, and it is your year to go for those too. Now, Cancer, you guys, you're going to have an easier year because there's a lot of water in the sky this year, so you'll be very much at home. It is a good time for traveling abroad, although we might all be limited and not be able to. But if you can, Cancer, January through May and October through December, those are really good times for you to spread your wings. You're the ones to make memories this year. Go learn new things. Go take a trip. Now, Leo, for you, it's a great year for money and investments. Look at real estate, new business ventures. You might see money sooner than you expected. And look at the fall. The fall would be a good time for you to purchase new property or get a new vacation home if you're in the market. Now, Virgos, you have some smooth sailing in April and May. Things start to fall in place for you then. It's really a great time for anybody in publishing, teaching, the media. You know, Uranus is in Virgo now, and that's all about new ways of communicating, and technology is highlighted for you guys. Now, Libra, home and family pressures that you've been feeling for the last 2 years, you're finally going to start to feel some relief, all right? Look at new health routines, get a solid health regimen and a foundation. Your partnerships are going to be highlighted particularly May through October this year. Scorpions, this is the year for you to open your heart. Jupiter and Neptune are both in your love sector. And there's an eclipse in April, so you might have a new kind of commitment going on. Any challenging relationships you have, they're going to come to a head in the lunar eclipses in May and November. So it's time for you to figure out if you're going to stay or go. Now, Sagittarius, you've had 2 years of eclipses in your partnership and marriage sector, so you're slowly coming out of that. Now it's time to prioritize your mental, emotional, physical health as well. Now, romance time for you is May through October because Jupiter turns to love, and it's time for your creativity and passion. Now, Capricorn, you folks have been in kind of dark times with Pluto and Saturn since 220, and some of that is going to start to rise up. Publishing, writing is all great for Capricorns. Time for Capricorns to share their wisdom. And April and May's eclipses could spark new love for you. Now, Aquarius, you folks are going to look at new sources of income this year. You've got to figure out what is your passion, what soothes your soul, and go for it, because Jupiter and Neptune are supporting you for your new ideas and to help you expand. And maybe you'll think about a move in the spring or rent some fun place for the summer. And finally, Pisces, this is your year, Pisces. If you are in the arts or creativity, you will be a superstar. Jupiter and Neptune are close to your sign most of this year. It's so happy in Pisces. You'll attract what you need in life and business, but choose carefully because you'll have a lot of choices. So this should be a great year for you. So everybody look forward. Look for the positive energies. They will be supporting you. The planet is telling us to seek the truth and to get through all this disinformation and go for meeting your soul and where you need to go.
Well, it definitely is a soulful time. When we created our New Year's collection for 2022, the title Spirit gave me, not knowing the astrology behind it, was Soulful Mastery. So it sounds like everyone's going to go down deep and do some type of adjustment or find their truth, be in their healing, find their passion, find their true love, step into some of their dreams and desires. So it sounds like everyone's going to be really on a deep soul dive, and how they experience that and interpret it will determine how favorable everything will come out for them. Is that true?
That's all the heavy Pisces influence there, everything you're talking about. That brings in the more humanity and the compassion and really very deep soul digging to align yourself. So 100%.
100%. So I always count on Spirit to give me the guidance, as we talked about in the beginning of the show, right? I just say, all right, what's the name of the 2022 New Year's collection? Soulful Self-Mastery. I'm like, all right, sounds good to me. And here you are just telling us the whole story. I just love the fact when the stars align. Now, Stacie, I do want to ask you a question. Earlier in the show, I talked about, it's a new year, and mankind has flipped the calendar and said, January 1st, fa la la. But from an astrological point of view, when do we really have a new year? Is it really on January, or is the new year really following the stars in a different timeline or pattern? Can you give us some insight on that?
You know, the calendar that we use was man-created for many reasons. And when you look at astrology, your birthday is your new year. So your year is really birthday to birthday, regardless of the calendar year. It's just the energies moving through the months, and it's constantly cycling through. So, it's almost, we made this up that January is the first month of the year, and we'll call it this so we could all kind of be on the same page. But from an astrological standpoint, your new year is your birthday, and you reset on your birthday. And what happens on your birthday is the energies that follow you and guide you through that year.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, when we talk about the like the spring solstice, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, is there like something a little bit more of a fresh start with the spring solstice or the summer solstice start the year's energy for the planet as a whole, not just limited to individuals? How does that, do you have an insight on that?
Yes, well, that's why the zodiac starts with Aries in the spring, because that's when everything grows and starts and everything blooms. So, yes, those solstices mark, and that's why signs, they're cardinal signs. They're the beginnings. The first month and the fourth month, those are the beginnings of cycles. And, yes, they all are tied together. And from an astrological standpoint, it's really the outer planets and where they are that create our evolutionary changes, and the inner ones change closely with us on a frequent basis. But the solstices kick off the different energies as we move through the seasons.
Well, thank you. I thought we needed a little education, so thank you so much for that. I know we celebrated a new year, but there was a part of me within my being that said, well, I don't know if it's really the new year, but we're all saying that. So,
well, you're a Gemini, so not quite for you yet.
Not for me. And even in my mind, I said, well, even if it doesn't just be limited to my birthday, there's got to be a reason why we have these solstices. And I always thought of the spring as a new beginning and a new year. But leave it to mankind to put it in the dead of winter so we can all schlep in the cold and have that sense of connection during a holiday season that too was kind of created. But we got to celebrate it sometime. So why not in the middle of winter to give us something to look forward to? Unless, of course,
Maybe
you
we
live
did
in
that
Florida.
because we need the pick-me-up.
We need the pick-me-up. We do. Of course, here in South Florida, we're enjoying the pick-me-up all the time. Don't mean to rub it in. I know you're in Boston, but, you know.
Thank you very much, Sarah. 16 degrees.
Well, we send you a little hot air your way. Stacie, thank you so much for sharing with us. If anyone would like to know what this year means for them, 2022, on your natal chart, on your birthday, without it even being your birthday, Stacie can take a look and say, hey, this is what the frequency is. This is your path, your life. She can do a chart for you. You can go to destinyinthestars.com. We highly recommend the experience. And those of you who've had the pleasure of hanging out with me for a personal session, you're going to find a lot of the stars align and go right hand in hand with what Stacie's saying, but give you some additional information, something a little bit more tangible, tactical, to add to this sense and this feeling that Spirit shares with us, so you can put all the pieces together in the puzzle of life that will be your 2022. Again, visit Stacie at destinyinthestars.com. Stacie, as always, it's a pleasure. I know we'll talk to you next month in February. At that point, we'll already be coming to the end of Mercury Retrograde, so we'll be sure to do a pulse on that one.
We'll celebrate that then for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Stacie. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, 888-565-1470. We're going to continue with our phone calls, answering your questions, giving you messages for 2022. We were just speaking with Stacie Haller in Destiny in the Stars, and so visit her there, and we will be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
WWNN, and we are answering your questions. We're going to pull a question from Facebook before we go to the phone lines because I've got to get to some calls. I've got John Hayes. He's like, hello, Sarah. Blessings to you this new year. He gives us his birthday. Do I see love still coming into his life this year? A real partner he's looking for. So, John, when I look at the energy around you and I check into the expression of self, a good part of the beginning of this year really represents your putting yourself on solid ground, working on financial matters as well, getting things in order for yourself. And when I look closer to the actual time of your birthday in June, this is when I feel like love comes your way. And I feel like it's got a great connection of commitment, alignment, someone who's truly a compassionate, kind partner. So yes, John, love does come your way. Be open for that and look for that a little closer to your birthday. So keep us posted. God bless you and Happy New Year. We're going to pull another question from Facebook and YouTube. We've got Denise. Denise Hemslork says, what does Spirit have for me? A spirit came over me last week. Who was it? Well, Denise, one of the first things that I see around you is very strong, powerful energy of many guides, many angels. You've been opening up to your spirituality and really tuning in. And in the recent loss of a loved one, this has also brought you closer to the energy of connection. I also know that your favorite number came up just recently. So hopefully you played it just the other night because that number was right there for you. And I believe that was a gift from your husband from the other side. And I do see the presence of your mother in the energy around you as well. So Denise, know that you're in good company. And I feel on that particular night, the feeling of the presence that came around you and near you was the presence of your husband. Thank you so much, Denise, and we wish you a very happy new year. We're going to take another question from Facebook and YouTube before we go back to the phone lines. I've got Shar Osino. And Shar, aloha, she's in Hawaii. What does Spirit have going on for her? And she has her birthday there for me. So the first thing that I'm made aware of, Shar, is that this year is really going to help you be more versatile and think of yourself through a different lens. No longer you're going to see yourself through the lens of how other people have seen you. You're going to see yourself in your true, authentic God, divine self and step into your God power. And you get more and more aligned with your personal power and your authenticity and being more creative in the month of July of 2022. So Shar Osino, it's going to be a great year for you. Thank you so much. Aloha. We look forward to speaking with you again. And we're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. And I've got to go to Kali. Kali is in Lake Worth. Kali, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you again. This is an important time for you, my dear. I want you to think big. How big, how much can we grow? How can we expand and increase revenue and flow? Are we thinking of making a change for work this year, please?
Yes.
I see change. I see growth. Make me feel as if the months of February, March are more conducive to make that change. They tell me that you need to earn more, make more, feel as if you're worth more in your skill set. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
I'm also seeing, Kelly, that there's a possibility of a move. Are we looking to live somewhere else at this time?
No, my lease is going to be up in a couple of months, but I
Mhm.
hadn't been thinking about moving.
Okay. Possibility may be there for you. And I don't say that to go have you say, oh, what am I going to do? I want you to just trust that the universe will open up something for you. There could be an opportunity for a move, so don't rule it out. You, of course, have free will. If you can renew and feel comfortable with that, do that. But there can be an opportunity for a move. Uh, it might not even be so far from where you are, but it might be a better spot for you. So if you're looking for a little more space or a little more comfort, see what you can find before you decide you're absolutely staying there.
Okay.
And what is your question for us tonight?
Just what messages does Spirit have for me for the new year?
Well, that is essentially what's going to be happening for you. And they also talked to me for about partnership and love. And this is something that you're looking to put together for yourself in this 2022 as well, love?
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't lose your number. It's still here. It's, I know, it seems, I don't know, he took the wrong, you know what? I think your partner's stuck in the bottleneck at the piers. That's all. But he's a coming. So if you think he's just kind of caught in the chain, that's all right. It's still coming. Love is coming. It's going to be a powerful time for you. It is really a great expression of self time, really being your powerful self, stepping out and asking for what you want. And then as you begin to receive what you want, know that you're worthy. And from that acceptance of self and the greatness that is you, Kelly, you're going to find some powerful changes. And if I were to put a timeline on love entering in, you know, there's something about fireworks in the month of July that makes me feel like that seems to be a time of you're ready. I know you've said you wanted a partner, but my guides say she hasn't really been ready. And now you're finally ready. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So love is coming, and it's going to be a good one. But in the meantime, get yourself ready for your pay raise and that movement and advancement because it's right there for you. Thank you, Kelly, for calling, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
888-565-1470. And from Lake Worth, as we keep answering our phone calls, we've got to go to Margaret. Margaret is in New Jersey. Margaret, how are you tonight?
Oh, good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Margaret, I really want you to love your community, love your peeps, love everything that connects with you that is feeling good in a vibrational match. I want you to think about how you can network. And I know we're in weird times, but how you can network and express yourself, be of service, do things that make you feel good at the end of the day. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes.
And they talk to me a lot about family and family connections and commitment. What are your questions? What's your question for me for 2022?
Well, personally, I have a question, but I also have a question regarding my sister who's gone through some health issues, and I just want to ask the spirits to give me some idea how she's going to make out through all this.
May I have your sister's first name and her birthday?
Lisa, February 2nd.
So 2021 was a really difficult year for her, right? It was one thing after another. Is this true?
Yes. Yes.
Almost like what else could go wrong kind of feeling, yes?
Exactly.
So when I look at this energy around your sister Lisa, I do feel like she's kind of coming out of it. I do feel like there's a residual lag of something that's still there that has to continually be addressed or treated. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Perfect sense. Yeah.
All right. So when I see that, I'm going, okay, not the desired outcome, not how we want our 2022 to be, but we're going to live to tell the story. We're going to pass through the dark times. She's a warrior, and she's going to move herself forward through this, and it's going to be manageable, treatable as she moves forward. You know, it's interesting because they make me feel as if your mom has passed, Margaret, yes?
No.
Okay, who's the woman who passed who was close to you and your sister, please?
My grandmother.
Okay. Has your sister been talking about your grandmother a lot, or have you both been talking about Grandma recently, please?
No, we haven't really.
Okay, Grandma's really very much around Margaret, you, Margaret, and your sister, Lisa. So Grandma's energy is right there. So whatever difficulty you've been going through as a family, remember I said family's important to you when I first came onto the call with you. Grandma's there kind of keeping things together in some way and giving a helping hand through this energy.
Wow.
Thank you. She's been kind of holding the energy for your sister. And maybe if you mention it to your sister, she may say, she did cross my mind. Maybe you two of you haven't spoken of it, but Grandma's been very, very near, because I feel as if your sister went through, they go October, November of last year. That was really a dark time for your sister, yes?
Oh, yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
That's when Grandma makes me feel as if she was closest to her so that she would feel like she wasn't alone.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. She just went through surgery today for breast cancer, and she's going to be treated.
Yes.
But it's been a long haul just to get to this day for her. It's been like you said, one thing after another.
Yes, and then so much
I'm
else
sure
is going on.
You know, she could have been praying and talking to my grandmother, just not mentioning it to me. But yes, we're very close to her.
Yes, and because she shows herself almost as if she was your mom, and that's why I felt like it was a mother's energy. But
right,
Thank
absolutely.
you for
We
that,
lived with
Grace.
her since we were little children.
Okay.
She moved into our house. Yeah.
There you go. So she's like your mom or your second mom, and she's stepping up
Exactly.
and interacting on your behalf. And who played piano? Why do I hear a piano? What is that?
My ex-husband.
Okay. Interesting. Somewhere off in the distance, I hear piano playing. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to leave you with that. But I hear piano playing, and it's just like off in the distance, faint. So it's connected to you all. So I have to leave you with that. But I just hear, I was getting ready to shut the connection between yourself and your family's members, and I heard this piano music playing. So I'm going to leave you with that.
Wow.
I think there's a little more to it than your ex-husband. But for now, we're going to leave that there, Margaret. Margaret, for you...
Am I going to have any sort of relationship in my future, Sarah? And that's really, the only other thing I was wondering about. Everything else I think is manageable here.
Everything is manageable, and that's why I feel like you're going to let yourself really shine, and it's going to be a really great connective year for you in this 2022. I hear that song, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'm going to let it show. So it's like a coming out party for you around your birthday. Things start to open up for you, and I do see connections with people through your openness to connect with people and network. This is how and where you're going to find the connection of love for yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and our prayers and blessings go to your sister. Keep us posted, Margaret, and thank you for holding for us from the call. Bye for now.
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. We're answering your questions all across the nation. Life's special little questions. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to close out the show answering more questions about 2022 and what's in store for you. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, Participate in one of my spiritual development classes and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you?
618 live shows here on national radio, 12 and a half plus years, and we're so excited to be connecting with you for our very first show of 2022. Where do we go from here? Well, we're going to fly high. We're setting new heights, and we encourage you all to do the same. Don't let the story around you determine your outcome. You've got the power within you, and we are answering your questions at 888-565-1470. If you'd like to learn more about me, go visit sarahspiritual.com. Learn more about the sessions and the products that I create, and learn more about my Expedito Enlightenment Center. Sometimes people say, what were you thinking when you came up with that name? But Expedito means we expedite enlightenment. And there's a whole story behind Saint Expedito, but we won't get into that now. But pop on to West Palm Beach. Yes, we're open. We have our store hours Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6. You can shop, buy crystals, oils, mists, books, tarot decks, oracle decks. We have the most amazing products. So if you're looking for something to zip up your spiritual life and keep yourself protected and energetically aligned, if you're looking to explore your spirituality, want to learn how to light a candle or perhaps work with a pendulum, or what a crystal means in your life, we've got the answers. We've got the stuff. We got it all. Love to see you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. You can also go to the expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com website and see a few more of our products that we have there as well. So we've got 2 websites, we've got a physical store, and we have people who are flying in from everywhere to shop with us, and we sure hope that you join us no matter where you are, whether you live in Orlando, whether you live in the Keys, whether you live in Georgia. We have people who drive in from Georgia just for their session. So we would love to have you there, and if you can't make it physically in, visit us online, and all of my sessions are done remotely if you're not local, via phone or a video type chat. So we do hope to speak to you. Now, we're going to go back to our phone lines, and a rumor has it, it's just a story I read on Facebook. You know what you guys say on Facebook in the feed, but there's a lady, she's talking about some hairy road conditions where she lives. Roads are a little dark and treacherous and icy. So we're going to see what's going on in Connecticut. I got Tammy on the line. Tammy, how are you tonight?
Sarah, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. So a little chilly by you. What's your temperature?
It was 19 degrees this morning. Right now it's about 41 right now.
Oh, good. Well, you see, Boston's a little chillier, so glad you're in Connecticut. You're not quite as chilly as Stacie in Boston. And Miss Tammy,
Right.
2022, what's your question for us?
I want to thank you for the nice prayer you did for my father-in-law 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Another thing, I want to know, my daughter's been sick again, and she got COVID again.
Sorry to hear that. Well,
Will she ever get better?
she will. She will. But, for her energy actually does a lot better outside of the cold. So that's something that I guess she'll feel a lot better when the spring comes for her. But I know she's going to pass through this. And it's really, it's important that, people, I know we all want to do things, but everything we want to do can wait just a little longer. And we can just hope that we pass through this. Not telling people not to live their life, but we do have to exercise some caution. And so, but I know your daughter's going to be fine. She's a strong girl. I just know that with all the things that she's been trying to navigate in her health besides this, she did not need this on top of it, but she will be fine. Tammy, what is your question for yourself for 2022?
Okay, I want to know if my angels are around sending me messages. I woke up one day last week during the night, and I felt like a thing of water on the side of my face. Do you know who that was? Or
there's a female energy that's connected to you who has passed. This is mother energy. Did your mom pass, Tammy?
No, I have a grandmother, a sister that passed.
That is
and
that is your mother's mother who passed, please, because I'm on the
Yes.
mother's side of the family. So that is your grandmother. Your sister stands close to you as well, but that was your grandmother there, almost like this kind of wet kind of feeling of energy around you, please, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. It was
Almost
weird.
like a wet kiss or something, yes? So
Yes.
but of course she can't do that because she's just in energy, but she is with you. And she makes me feel as if she had some kind of a loving energy for you all, for you and your sister, your family. Yes, please?
Yes, all the time.
All the time. And kind of a different breed than your mom. I'm not bashing your mom, but she's just a different type of person. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And my guide said, and thank God for Grandma, Sarah. So I guess that tells your family story. So
Oh, yeah.
thank God for Grandma, Tammy. But your sister's very much with you. And, your sister makes me feel like before she passed, she didn't get to do or say everything she wanted to do before she passed. Does this make sense to you, please?
Yes.
Okay. And she makes me also feel that she gets to talk to you when you're talking to her. So your sister sends you a lot of messages. She tries to give you clues. And she also wants you to know that she is okay and she's not in any pain, is the word she gives me, specifically pain. Was she in pain before she passed, Tammy?
Yeah, she is. She was.
Okay. So she wants you to know she's not in any pain. And she's
Okay.
very much with you. 2022 is going to be a good year for you. It is a year of you getting your life in order. It is a year of you getting yourself on track. And it is a money year. So I want you to say, universe, show me the money. I really feel like there'll be some influx of income and abundance that comes to you, some of which, a good deal of which, let me be clear, has to do with work and career. So you've been thinking about doing something differently to earn money. This is going to come into
Making
play.
baskets, me and Amanda.
Okay. There's something else coming for you, something that is separate from Amanda. So this is going to be important for you. So look at something else that you can do.
Okay.
All right, Tammy, it's going to be a good year for you. Thank you so much for following the show. We send our love to all of your family. Give my best to your daughter and your father-in-law.
Okay. Quick question. How is my mom doing at this point?
What is your mother's birthday, please?
2/28, I believe it's 1932 or 35.
This year, health-wise, is a challenging year for your mother. She's been experiencing some difficulties, yes?
Yeah, she fell a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And this is I'm not God, but it's something that's kind of like a beginning of some difficulties that are coming for her. 2022 presents health challenges. It is up to your mom to choose to overcome them and be courageous through it. So I can't say much more than that. That's all they're giving me at this time. But hold the vision. Ask Archangel Raphael, the healing angel, to be with your mom. For now, we are complete. Tammy, thank you so much for calling, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Do you know when the money's going to be coming in at all, or?
No, and I said for now, we are complete, Tammy. So we're going to have to hold that boundary.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All
Bye
right.
for
Thank
now.
you for
You're
the prayer
welcome.
and everything.
You're welcome. Bye.
Have a nice night.
You too. Bye. 888-565-1470. One question, two questions, anything more than that, we're looking at a full reading, and we're not doing that here. And we're going to go to Cheryl in Deerfield Beach. Cheryl, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly. Happy New Year to you. When I
Thank
look
you
at the
so
energy
much.
around
Happy
you.
New Year. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and I'm so grateful to connect with you. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. You know, when I look around the energy, they make me feel like everything is reorging and calibrating is the word. Organizing, calibrating for career and work and money. You know, my guys are like, she wants more, she needs more, but she doesn't want more. She just wants more money, but she doesn't want to work harder. So there's this whole balance here. You know, so like I'm hearing that in my head, like, more, more, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? And then behind the scenes, my guides are going, she don't want to work no more, work no more. So I guess you better go play Powerball, because that's your only other option, sugar, because you still got to work. But when I look at the energy, I got to tell you this. I see here the advancement of you in a very reputable experience with the people that you work with in the organizational atmosphere that you're a part of. I really feel like you get picked for specific things so that you can earn more, get the hours and what you need. And I actually feel as if things work out better in the home life and the financial flow in the household to make it a little easier for you, because my guides are like, you know, she's carrying the water up to the well and she's just trying to like fill the well. And every time you fill the well, everyone's running up to the well and taking out the water, and you're running up carrying buckets of water and trying to fill the well back up. So now it's, she's like, yeah, that's about sums that up, please, here. So
Totally, yeah.
So
that's the Aquarius carrying that water up.
Well, I know you're tired, but I think that things are working better for household members. That'll make it a little easier for things to flow better and take some of the pressure, let the steam out. Yes. So it's going to be a little easier for you. And they also tell me, pay attention. You know, when I look at the energy for you, it's really important. You do want to look at your health. And if you were listening to Stacie when she was talking from an astrology point of view, I do feel like this is going to be a year, a new way for you to make some new income. So remember, if we keep doing things the same way and we want it to play out differently, that could be a challenge. So we want to look at other things we can do to generate revenue that are less taxing on the physical body. Yes?
Yes, for sure. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
It's, very hard for me to keep up this physical job. I'm not into it wholeheartedly.
Right.
I feel blessed, but I feel like it's not where I belong.
Exactly.
Ultimately.
And this year, ultimately, is going to give you a better sense of ways you can increase revenue and other ideas of what to do. And then you really step into that expression of those new ways, or the self-discovery that takes you on a path of like, wow, what have I been missing? This is where I was meant to be all along. That's more your 2023 story. This year is kind of cleaning up, closing up chapters, making sure other people are filling the well, so you and your buckets can sit down and take a look and go, okay, this is where I want to be now, and work on what's best for you, not just the obligatory actions to survive in the world. Because there's something that's
ultimate happiness.
Yes, well, ultimate being we're humans, so are we ever really happy? Are we always? There's always something, right? But finding that balance in the happiness and realizing that obligations are part of life, and some obligations we can choose to release, and some obligations we can mitigate and lessen over time, and then we can have that simple life that you're looking to have. But right now, there's just too many obligations. You're pulled in too many different ways.
Yeah.
You know what you look like to me spiritually? Well, they're just tripping out here. It's the end of the show. They're just off the chain here. You look like someone playing Twister who someone said to put your left hand yellow and your right foot blue behind you. And like you are stretched so far that if anybody even sneezes, you're going down in Twister. But I know that's how you feel.
That's so funny.
So
it's true. You see me very clearly because I remember playing that game very well, but I feel like I'm just, every inch of me is taken. Yeah. Every piece of the pie is taken, and there's a little bit left for me at the end of the day. I'm not starving. There's always enough for me. But, yeah, I think you've read me just perfectly tonight. And the only question that I have to you that I'm very, very distressed about, and I've spoken to you before about, is my son Alexander, 9/11/2001. I feel like there's so many things that are being kept from me, and I'm very concerned about him. He's losing a lot of weight. He's not looking like the happy, jovial 20-year-old boy that I know. I think that he's depressed, and he can't seem to find his way. He's kind of like a kite just flying in the wind without any direction, and he hates me, and he doesn't want me to help him, and I just feel so concerned and so sad that our relationship is so bad because I love him so much.
Well, he's in this place of he's not happy with who he is and who he's grown to be. I do feel, again, I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose, but I do feel the presence of depression. You know, before you even said your question, I had written down your son, not because we've spoken of him, but that's the energy that Spirit brought forward. And yes, he's going through this, he's kind of withering, and he's losing his light. So the prayer you can pray, the vision you can hold, and I say this to you and anyone that we notice is losing their light, is to hold the vision for him to get re-sparked, right? Regenerated. And, I don't know if he's self-medicating. There's a feeling of that around there. So
I think so.
Whoever has access to him that may be able to guide him a little more, since he isn't open to your opinion at this time. And remember, it is a soul contract between the two of you. He has an opinion of you based on how he sees you through the lenses of his own wounds. And it is not as personal as you are interpreting it. So it is just important that you hold space for him to grow. At this moment, Cheryl, we are getting ready to wave off. I do hope that we have given you some insight, some comfort in this time. Ask Archangel Michael to surround him with protection. And of course, ask Archangel Raphael to heal him emotionally and physically. He will be well. He is just not happy with who he is at the moment. And it is not a reflection on your inability to be a mother.
Oh, thank you. I feel so much better.
I know it's difficult. I know. And you speak for many other mothers as well. So I'm sure many are relating to you at this time, because many people have some difficult relationships with family, and it always just seems to just jab us in the heart right around the Christmas time. So thank you, Cheryl, for calling. Thank you for following the show. We appreciate you, and Happy New Year.
Sarah. Happy New Year, Sarah. God bless you. I just appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
888-565-1470. If we didn't get to your call, Sandra and Boynton and all the other calls who are here on our board just waiting, we will connect with you next week. Be sure to follow us right here on WWNN. If you're in Tampa, or you know friends in Tampa, spread the word. WHFS 1010 AM. Pop on over there, those of you in Tampa. Follow the show on Facebook. Follow the show on YouTube. You can always watch the replay, share the light, share the love. And by golly, here we go again. It's a new year. Let's see what they swoop on us now. But it's all good. God's in charge. Love, live, and laugh, because that's really all we have. God bless you. Good night. Happy 2022. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers